All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call Haloyam Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book, and that is the real truth. You understand? All right, but this is going to be a very quick video. I just want to bring you some news, man. All right, to let you know what's happening, to let you know what's going on, to let you know what time we're living in, man. All right, we're living in the last days. All right, not just the last days. All right, the last of the last of the last days, the last few seconds, the last few nanoseconds before Yahweh Shai cracks that sky in half. All right, and redeems his elect. All right, to be saved. All right, from the thermonuclear destruction that's getting ready to fall upon this earth. All right, especially here in America. All right, but as you see on screen, the title reads of this article, all right, Keir Starmer set to announce digital ID cards within days. All right, so let's see what's going on, man. This is September 21st, 2025, man. All right, so it reads, all right, the UK Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, looks set to announce the launch of digital ID cards in an attempt we are told to believe to clamp down on illegal immigration. Yeah, they always got some bullshit, all right, fake ass reason, all right. They always got some guys, all right, to tell you why they're bringing digital ID cards, man. But we know the real reason. We know what's happening. We know what's going on. The true prophets and the true servants of the Lord. We know what time we're living in, and I say we humbly, hopefully, you know, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Ratazah, I am of the elect. We know what time we know what time it is, man. We know what's going on, man. The scriptures say that we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. We know what time we're living in, man. We know what time it is, bro. All right, and Esau Edom being the damn devil, the so-called white man, we know he can't be trusted, man. All right, the UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer looks set to announce the launch of digital ID cards in an attempt, we are told to believe, to clamp down on illegal immigration. Yeah. All right, it says insiders say that plans for the digital ID scheme could be unveiled at the next Labour Party conference, which starts on September 28th. All right, who voted for this? All right, Tony Blair must be rubbing his hands with glee. All right, finer details of the scheme are understood to be in the works, so this timeline could change. All right, but for him, the digital IDs could play, all right, an important role in making the U.S. less desirable as a place for migrants wanting to come here legally. And you know, bro, every time I make a video on digital IDs, you know, this is just one step closer to the MOTB, the mark of the beast, man. All right, why are all these people that sit in high places, you know, leaders of nations and kings of nations, you know, all these people that sit in high places, your presidents, your prime ministers, your politicians, all right, your mayors, your governors, you know, all these people that sit in high places, they're all calling and pushing for what? A digital ID, because they're lesser elites. They're puppets for the elite bankers, all right, whose agenda is to bring forth a new world order, all right? And part of that new world order is to usher out the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, to have everyone on this earth under their control through their technology, which is the RFID microchip, all right? This is just one step closer. All these leaders and people are calling for digital ID, pushing for digital IDs, man. All right, they're puppets for the elites to carry out their agenda, to push forward their agenda, man. All right, it says, and ministers have been shown. All right, it says, and ministers have been showing, all right, their increasing public support for the digital IDs in recent weeks. All right, it's so easy to see that the MOTB, all right, the mark of the beast is the RFID chip, man. You know, these false prophets will tell you that the RFID microchip is not the mark of the beast. All right, they will tell you that the mark of the beast is a spiritual thing and not a physical thing. No, the mark of the beast is an actual physical, tangible thing that the elites want to put under your skin, man. All right. It says new home security. Shabana Mahmood shared earlier this month. My long-term personal political view has always been in favor for ID cards. You see, all right. The system she suggested could help with illegal work and enforcement. All right, and this is how they get you to get used to it, man. All right, they gradually, all right, bring it to you and put it in front of you and dangle it in your nose. They get you used to and condition you to live in a digital world. You know, the system she suggested could help with illegal work and enforcement and uh deal with the pull factors that are making the UK a destination of choice for many migrants. All right, growing calls for the policy came after it was revealed that small boat migrants are brazenly breaking the law by working as Deliveroo, all right, and Just Eat delivery riders, all right. uh One component of the scheme looks to give this is all it's just all a reason for them to bring a digital ID, bro. They're just looking for any reason to bring out, the MOTB. All right. Well, the elites, they're just waiting for the right type of event. They're waiting for the most beautiful event in their eyes to usher it in to where they be like, yeah, this it. This it right here. We gonna use this chaos right here. All right. Order ab chaos. Order ab chaos. All right. Come on, man. All right, because that's what they go by. Order ab chaos. All right, with that's their alchemy. That's part of their alchemy and witchcraft. All right, when you read a book called Codex Codex Magica by Tex Mars. All right, it goes into that, the order ab chaos, the order ab ko, man. All right, that's the alchemy of the elite. That's what they go by, man. To create chaos, man. All right, to come behind it with order, to put the people in order. They come behind it with the solution to put the people in order. That's what this whole scamdemic pandemic was about. All right, they had the entire earth in chaos, and what was the solution? All right, the juicy juice to put the people in order, which that was a depopulation scheme. You know, it says this includes people with legalized immigration status and British citizens. All right, but the program's success will likely depend on everyone having them. All right, so you see what's going on. I just want to bring you this news, man. All right, you got another article right here. All right, Tony Blair, who called those who refuse Bovid jabs idiots, says it's time to embrace digital ID. So we had in this article, all right, the UK Prime Minister calling for digital ID, and then you got this man Tony Blair calling for digital ID. See, these are all lesser elites, man. All right, these are all puppets for the elite bankers. All right, to push forward their agenda. Everyone calling for digital ID. All right. All right. It says during the so-called pandemic, former British Prime Minister Tony Blair called so you got the uh the modern day Prime Minister, all right, and the former Prime Minister both calling for digital IDs, man. All right, during the so-called pandemic, all right, former British Prime Minister Tony Blair called all those who refuse the deadly experimental Bovid vaccines idiots. Well, the true idiots are the ones that took it. All right, which the vaccines is what it was one of Satan's devices, man. All right, for we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, the scriptures say. All right, in an interview with Times Radio in December 2021, Blair said, frankly, if you're not vaccinated, all right, at the moment, and you're eligible, and you've got no health reason, all right, for not to be vaccinated, all right, you're not just irresponsible. I mean, you're an idiot. Well, like I said, the true idiots, you got to be a damn dumbass, all right, to take the juicy juice, the Maxine Nightingale, the jump shot, you know. Now to be a dumbass, man. It says, I'm sorry. I mean that is truthfully you are, all right. But this Omicron variant is so contagious, all right. If you're unjuicified, all right, unvaccinated, all right, and you're in circulation, you're going to get it, and that is going to put a lot of strain on the health services. Yeah. Just a bunch of bullshit, bro. All right. So it says now Blair is back and pushing hard for digital ID. Of course, the same person that's pushing, all right, for people to get jump shotted, all right, is gonna push for digital ID. Of course, bro. Come on, man. All right, and then you got someone that posted on Twitter or X now it's called. It says Tony Blair called all those who refused the deadly, useless experimental bovine vaccine all idiots. All right, let's watch this video real quick.
You're eligible, and you've got no health reason for not being vaccinated. You're not just irresponsible. I mean, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. I mean, that is, truthfully, you are. I mean, because this Omicron variant is so contagious. You know, if you're unvaccinated and you're in circulation, you're going to get.
All right, look at the devil, man. All right,
you're
the devil
eligible.
Speaking, talking about you're an idiot if you don't get vaccinated. All right. we know what the juicy juice is about, man. All right, but you know, just to let you know what's going on, what's happening. All right, so you got the modern day prime minister and the former prime minister. All right, both calling for digital IDs, man. All right, what's that other woman? There's another woman that's calling for digital ID. I forgot her name. Oh man, I just did a video on it not too long ago. I forgot her name. All these people are calling for digital IDs, man. You know, you have Elon Musk with his Neuralink. When you type in Neuralink on the Greek gematria, all right, it adds up to 666, bro. Come on, man. All right, so just, you know, to let you know what's happening, what's going on, I just wanted to bring you these articles real quick, man. All right, so with that being said, until the next one, Shalom.